Hi everyone, thanks for stopping by. Mary at Espresso Press, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do a little project that I'm calling Lace Treasures, and it came about because another project didn't quite turn out the way I wanted it to. You know how that goes. I wanted to do something with dyes and bought a new dye, and then it didn't quite work out like I wanted. I can still do it, but not the way I originally planned on doing it. So that is going to go with another project that I still have to come up with some more ideas for. So I just modified my idea a little bit, and I came up with these, what I call lace treasures, and they're very easy to make. And you can add them to little tags, and of course you won't be writing on these or anything, but I think they would make a lovely addition to a Victorian journal. They would make nice gift tags. I think they would look really nice if you have some special fabric, like from a wedding dress or something. And this is what inspired me, was that I had some lace. Actually, I have a lot more than this, but I had some lace left over from my daughter's baptism dress. So I decided to make little keepsakes for it, and I think you can do this with any little fabric snippets that you might have left over, as I used only a 1.5 inch hole punch. And I didn't have time to try it with a die, and originally I did want to use some rectangular stitched dies, but I didn't order them yet, and my die would be nice to do this and make a little frame, but it's square and I really wanted a rectangle shape, so I decided to do it with little tags. And then this one, I thought it also makes a great Scrapbuster project to use fabric, papers, charms, and yeah, so there's the back and there's the lace. This one actually used a different piece of lace that I had in my stash. This one added a little crochet type lace snippet that I had. Again, I used some more scraps, some labels, and an antique button that I sewed on the front. And then this is the one I'm going to make with you today, just because I don't want you to think that you need a tag cutter, what's it called? Tag punch. Sorry, my brain's not here today. Yeah, so I think these are really, really cute and lovely. And of course you could make them any size, and again, if you had a piece of lace left over from a wedding dress or something, some special clothing, I don't think you have to use lace, but I just chose to because that came from my original idea. And this particular tag I It would have been nice to have a die cut, but I used a utility knife to make the rectangle in the tag, and I probably would have made the edges a little thicker because it's not very sturdy, but it still would work in a pocket or whatever. So yeah, a die, nested dies would come in handy to make the frame a little thicker so it was a little more substantial, and then you could make them rectangles, squares. Even if you had heart nested dies, they would look lovely in a heart. I could see that even being like a Christmas ornament. So yeah, that's what we're going to make today, and it's quite easy. Use up all your little scraps, including lace scraps, paper scraps, and I just made these using file folders, and they came out so well that I didn't bother to break out any cardstock to do that with. Then I'm just going to do a quick run through of recent products. Again, this is Collectinea. This is Oddities, which I do have a project in works for that. And this is one of my newest little ephemera things from called Pretty Pockets. And I just came up with a bunch of little ephemera labels. Hopefully you can see the pattern on these pockets. 2 different styles, and I definitely tried to make these versatile enough with a nice cream background so that they would go in any type of journal. And the subject is basically ladies, hats, dressmaking, socialite type. So they're quite versatile. So I have a sewing machine, clock, hats, music box, and a bunch of assorted ephemera that you can play around with. And that's Pretty Pockets, and I'll probably put that at the end along with Collectinea. So let's get started. All of these tags were 2.5 wide because that's the widest width for my punch, but I made them 3.5 because I thought that it just, since you can't write on it or anything, and it's basically just a sampler type tag, I kept them 3.5. And another part of the reason is because I punch both of my holes at the same time. So you can line this up in the punch very easily, and you can get a nice placement for your center circle. And this is a 1.5 inch punch. Of course, you can use any size or any shape. If you had a heart punch, that would look lovely. So, what did I do first? Yeah, I think I punched my hole first. And then the one I'm going to show you, I used, it's kind of hard to see, but I used my lace for a stencil, and then I went over it with my postcard stamp, and then I put a little Tim Holtz paper on it, and just a little leftover lace topper. So yeah, let me see. I think first I'll do the lace stencil part. So let me get some tape here. So yeah, another eventful week. My foot is better, and then I hurt my back. And this is quite a, let me move up here so I can get better in frame. Yeah. Foot better, hurt back. How did I hurt my back? This is quite a story. I have a little kitty named Spencer who we don't allow out at night. And I'm just looking for my sponge here. Who we don't allow out at night because he had, well, first of all, he's only 1.5 years. And we live very close to town, but you wouldn't believe the type of creatures we get around here, including bear, foxes, turkey, deer, of course. So there's the lace pattern, which actually the flowers didn't, you couldn't really transfer through the flowers, so it's kind of ethereal, but that's okay. I'm going to go over it with the lettering. So anyway, yeah, we get a ton of creatures, but he loves to be out at night. And this one night he just didn't come home recently. I forget what night it was, maybe 4 days ago. He just didn't come home. And I was up waiting and waiting and waiting. And he still didn't come home, so finally I just said, I'm too tired. Started to fall asleep, and then all of a sudden I hear this noise outside my window, kind of like a, okay, if I had punched my hole first, I would have put a, yeah, what happened was I did this, wasn't pleased with it, decided to stamp over it, and I didn't want to stamp letters on my lace, so I filled in the blank. But now we're going to do it right off the bat. So, anyway, I hear a sound out my window that I've never heard before. It's kind of like a hiss, but not quite like a hiss. It was not like a cat hiss. I thought something was jumping on my screen. And then all of a sudden, I heard the yelp. Wait, I better get that corner. All of a sudden I heard like a yelp. And sure enough, it was a fox who we had been hearing, but not really close enough to cause any alarm. But this was really close. Too close for comfort. And yes, a fox will kill a cat, or if they're hungry enough. So there, I'm going to do my, get that lined up in the center. I have both of them in there. And there's my hole. And then of course you can use these for some other embellishment. So yeah, it was a fox. I jumped out of bed so fast. I have a different type lace here that I'm going to use up. I don't know which part. I think I'll I don't know, maybe not. Yeah, I'll just use another flower. I hope I'm staying in here. Okay. So, and then this it's white, so I aged it. So I jumped out of bed. I can't even remember what I did. And I'm not even sure if this is what I did, but the next day it was hurting, so I'm assuming that's when it happened. Jumped out of bed, ran to the door, and sure enough he was coming around the corner. Where's my scissors? Of course, I lost my scissors. I just used them. Okay, talk amongst yourselves. Sorry about that. I just used, there they are. On the other side of my table. Sorry about that. I just used them to cut a snippet. And then, so it's been hurting ever since. To the point where I actually had to take Tylenol, which I never take. So you do want to make sure that you don't go over the edge of that, just for cutting ease. And I'm going to use fabric tack. Make sure I'm in here. Again. And yeah. So I've just been doing a lot of accidental incidents lately. And I guess I'll cut my corners after I have this glued down. I don't really need fabric tack for the rest, but oh well. It gets quite wet and then it takes a little while to dry. Okay. Where'd you go, Cap? We're on. Okay. So they're almost finished. But I just think this is, you know, when you have fabric or something and you've used it many times and you just have one little piece left. You have to even these up. Mostly you want to make sure that your circles are even. I guess I can do this. Which one? Yeah, that'll be nice. I always use a card for my corners. Hopefully I had enough glue there on the top. That should have, theoretically should have stuck together. Okay. I think those are very cute, very pretty. So a little more trimming here. Okay, let that dry slightly. So I guess I can just make my tag, make my hopefully I have something that's probably not long enough. I don't know if that is either. I might have to cut another little strip off here. Don't have any other ribbon out. And put it all away. And then, I'm not going to save this. Normally I would. Normally I would save that. I think that's a habit I have to quit. I have to get over, seriously. I wonder if that's dry enough to punch my hole. Well, maybe we'll get our, have a little piece left of Tim Holtz. Yeah, I want that. So this is usually how I do this. tear that off with... Oh geez, I'm ripping right through it. I need more water. That dried fast. So yeah, in between the rain, the injuries, let's see a little piece of that. I've been having quite the summer. And then I did find out I'm extremely low in B vitamins. So I have to take care of that as well. Jeez, am I even, let me do this correctly. I'm not even paying attention. I don't think that's enough of the yellow. So I guess we'll just... Don't really want a straight line there, but I would like that. Let's see. I have glue on my fingers. Okay, hopefully that's enough. Yeah, because the, oh, actually I do have the roll right here. I didn't put it away. What a surprise. This craft room needs a major cleaning. Yeah, that's still, that fabric tack is still wet. Okay. I'm going to get a new cloth too. This one is so sticky with glue. Yeah, if you let your lace go out beyond the edge, you end up with fabric frays that you might have to cut off. So that's why it's better just to go a little bit beyond the circle. Okay. Get my punch. Take about, hopefully that's the middle. And then I did my first Photoshop tutorial for paper creators or designers, whatever, merchandise creators, t-shirt creators, but mainly I'm going to show digital creation of the paper types that I make. Oh, and I know what else I did on that one that I forgot to do. I not only use vintage photo, I use some Victorian velvet as well, so it wasn't all brown like the others. So yeah, I think this, if I do make a scrap book, this will definitely be going in there because, oh my goodness, 3 times. This will definitely be going in there because this is a multi-type Scrapbuster project. And you know this is so Robin Dudley Howe. I think she would love this. I generally don't use a lot of lace. I mean, I don't use it nearly as much as some people. Even though I like pretty. And I like Victorian. I just don't use a lot of lace. So I guess vintage photos next. And I really grunged these up. So they looked very aged. And actually that paper's a little damp. So it's picking up the ink nicely. And you can still see a little bit of the, wait, let me trim this. You can still see a little bit of the lace pattern. You could use stencils. Okay, and then I just did a dark edge with broken twig. So I use Victorian velvet, vintage photo, and broken twig. Please tell me I'm still in. But anyway, in my tutorial, oh, I was so robotic. I had to do it that day because I didn't have any other time the rest of the week, and I knew if I didn't do it, it might be another 2 weeks. And after I figured out it wasn't going to be that great of a learning curve obstacle, because I do use Zoom for my work. Oh, I gotta age this. I do use Zoom for my work, so I was anxious to try it to see how it went, and of course the trial run went perfect the day before when I looked like a bum, kind of like I look now actually. And then the next day, unfortunately, I had a funeral to attend. So I had to drive about an hour. I need some more ink. Had to drive about an hour, and I still wanted to get it accomplished that day because I went to the funeral kind of not too late. There was still time to work by the time I got home. And sure enough, didn't I make 3 mistakes and had to do the video 3 times because I forgot some steps. And the trial run went absolutely perfect. And I thought, oh, I'm just going to breeze through this and I'll be done and see how this goes. And I think maybe the fox incident happened the next night. Can't remember. But yeah. So now if he literally isn't home shortly after dark, we go outside and call him. Because if we go outside, then he thinks we're going for a walk. Oh, what else? Oh yeah, my neighbor's tree fell. We've been having storms and rain like you wouldn't believe. So there. Okay. I think those are very, very pretty. My neighbor's tree fell, and it was quite a huge tree. So we were taking him for a walk, and this will look nicer on here. So there it is, super simple. Any type of fabric. I'm quite sure you might even be able to put a nice piece of paper in there that you like and just have one more little piece of. But yeah, lace treasures. Any special fabric, any special lace. Good way to use snippets. Good way to use. This charm was actually a link in a bracelet. I told you my cousin gave me a ton of junk jewelry. And then this one I did and was looking for a label. And it says rich foreign dresses. So I thought, oh wow, that's perfect. I only had one one lying around, and that was the one it was. And then this one too was just a little piece off of an earring that was in that junk jewelry stash haul from her. And then there's the one from the original idea that would work much better with a die and the frame a little wider, so it would be a little more sturdy. But yeah, if you were doing I forgot to say, if you were doing a bridal shower journal, or even a birthday party, any type of event where you might have a piece of special clothing, I think this would be perfect. Absolutely perfect. To keep a little fabric sample, even a memorial journal, you know, your mother's dress or something like that. I think this is a great idea, and I'm sure somebody's probably done it. This one I turned the lace pink, and I had a couple of another label I had, millinery laces, embroideries, and kid gloves. So yeah, this is a multi-stash buster project. Charms, jewelry, paper, fabric, and a lovely little keepsake idea for packages or gifts or whatever. So thank you everyone for stopping by, and I hope you will, if you know anyone that's a paper creator, designer, and would like some tips, check out my tutorial. If you like this content, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that very much. Yes, I would appreciate it very much. And, oh, one more thing I wanted to say. I did find out why the cameras shake. At least I hope. Because I couldn't figure it out. Because watch. I'm trying to shake the table. It doesn't shake. The camera, even if I move forward, I will not hit my head on the camera. I think it's my daughter's bedroom is above me, and I think it's, since this camera is attached to the ceiling, actually the floor joist, I think when she walks, it's shaking the camera. So I'm glad I figured out that mystery. But at least I hope I did, and that doesn't happen in this video too, because for the life of me I couldn't figure that out either. But anyway, yeah, if you like this, please share, please subscribe, and thank you for stopping by, and it was lovely spending some time with you. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.